Welcome back everyone to our Neo Racing GT Sport Championship. This is race 4 from Monza with the no chicanes in the Ferrari F40. Here we go, ready for the lights to go out. Go! Good start from Bidzster. Jason K gets a good start. He might get the hop on TY here. Just look back to the middle. There's Jay Houston. Looks like he's getting a bit of a better pull away now. He's in the draft of Neil. Bidzster's still in front. Jason K and TY going to be side by side into the Curva Grande. Man of Steel's having a little sniff as well. There's TY in the white and blue car. Mainly white. If you look at Jay Houston's looking at the inside of Neil. Into the braking zone. Neil holds on for now though. As he goes into the chicane, Jay takes a little shortcut there. Neil loses the back end. Jay's going to take advantage here into the first line now. Tries to go around the outside. Is he going to make it stick? It looks like he's got the run. And he has. He's made it stick. Good move there from Jay Houston. Bidzster's getting the lead though. Don't let Bidzster pull away too much. There he is. There's everyone else jostling for position. Jason K right behind Neil now, looking for a little sniff, any sniff of opportunity. They go into Ascari. A little bit further back, there's TY and Jamo. Man of Steel and Danny Quaver having a little battle to it as well. Looks like Man of Steel might have been on the grass a little bit there, but I think everyone held on okay. Well, there's Jay Houston second place. Bidzster's starting to pull a gap. They don't let him get away too much. And oh, Neil goes for an ambitious move. And knocks Jay Houston, and I think that's Jason K off in the background as well. All happening at once. Mr. Slow One goes by. Danny Quaver's made a little mistake somewhere as well, so he's fallen a bit further back. Well, that spread them out a bit at the front. TY's right behind Neil now. Looking for any sniff of opportunity. As he goes straight past this first chicane that like it wasn't even there, because it isn't. Into Curva Grande at probably about 140 mph apex speed. Into the brakes, into the chicane. Still Neil holds on to position. Further back we've got Jason K, Danny and Mr. Slow One going everywhere, and Danny hits a cone and gets reset. Luckily the cone just goes off the racing line, which is good. Man of Steel there, approaching the back of Jamo. Man of Steel flaunting the Ferrari red. Standard road car colour. Jason K's off in the background. I think we saw Jason K go off again in the background, so he's not getting on with his car very well. I'm sure he'll get there in time. Meanwhile, TY and Neil Farmack still battling it out to go out of Ascari. Jay Houston and Bidzster getting a gap. TY's moving to the outside. They're not going to try and go around the outside, surely. Neil will have the inside line to defend. They both hit the brakes up at the same time. TY's got it, I think. If you don't run too wide, TY goes around the outside of Neil. You don't see that every day. Well, TY moves up to third. Neil Farmack back down to fourth. Let's see if TY can pull Neil up to the others now as TY sets the fastest lap. Here's TY. Jay Houston there. I think he's closing up on Bidzster slightly. We'll soon see them a little bit. There's Jamo in fifth. Man of Steel behind. It's really hard to get the speed of the car down for that Curva Grande, and because you really want to try and take it as fast as you can, but then again, if you go too fast it will bite you, and Jamo sets the personal best first turn session best. As he runs a bit wide though, they're a bit late on the brakes. Man of Steel might have a little opportunity here. He looks to the inside into the first Lesmo, but no, backs out of it, thinks twice. We go into the second Lesmo, so we look further up the front. Bidzster, Jay Houston, TY, Neil Farmer, your top 4. All probably within a couple of seconds, maybe 2 or 3 seconds of each other. Neil Farmer, fastest second sector. Really closing up now, really trying to get his head down. They head out of Ascari, coming down towards the Parabolica. It's all pretty much spread out, so let's have a look further back. There's Jamo and Man of Steel, Jason Kay a little bit further back with Mr. Slow One, and Danny Quaver at the back. Still he's quite struggling with this car this week, but I'm sure he'll get up to speed with the next ones next week. Nice colour scheme for Mr. Slow One there. All seems to be the same gap up at the front at the minute. Bidzster crosses the line. Too wide with another fastest lap, I think, there. Yeah, too wide, another fastest lap, almost a 48 dead. So he's on the move. See how the car squirms into the corner. Really wants to try and get as much corner speed as possible. Jay Houston's closed up on Bidzster here. There's Bidzster in the lead. They have orange colours at Bidzster with a little bit of traditional Ferrari red thrown in there. Jay Houston with a completely different approach with the yellow and black. Bidzster's gone wide. Bidzster makes a rare mistake. He goes really wide. Jay Houston's right up behind him now. As they come out of the second Lesmo, down towards Ascari. Jay Houston's going to be in the draft here. Is he going to be able to make a move? He's ducking in and out of the draft. No, thinks twice about it. Not this time round. As they go into Ascari, plenty of curb from Jay Houston behind there. He's going to be careful not to take too much, otherwise he'll get a penalty. As they come out of Ascari. Down the straight towards the Parabolica. And round the Parabolica. Jay Houston, massive slide there, runs wide onto the dust. That's not going to help him at all. Bidzster will pull a little bit of a gap, but I'm sure Jay Houston will minimise that gap with the draft. Trying to move around, trying to lose the toe. As they come straight through the chicane. It's not there. Into the Curva Grande. Jay Houston gets a massive touch on. TY is going to close up with that. Can't be doing that all the time. As they go on to the brakes into the chicane. All still close. 1, 2, 3, 4. All in your picture. There's the little cone at the side of the road that Danny Quaver decided to reposition earlier. As they come into the first Lesmo, if you're wondering why Jay Houston's car keeps ghosting, the game keeps on thinking that it's good that he's going to run into the back of Bidzster because he's braking so late. But, oh well. And now TY's closing up. Jay Houston didn't get a very good run out that last corner. We have a look. Not this time. As they come to Ascari. And out of it, onto the little back straight. Coming down towards the Parabolica. TY's in the draft though. Could make a move here. He moves out a little bit. Just enough to try and put him off. Jay Houston very close to the grass there, very close to the grass and making an error, but keeps it all on the black stuff for now. As they come out the Parabolic, and Neil runs a bit wide in the background. Don't want to be doing that too often, otherwise he'll not close up. So your order is still Bidzster, Jay Houston, TY, Neil Farmer is your top 4, Jamo, Man of Steel, Jason Kane, Mr. Slow One, Danny Quaver. That is your order so far, as we're almost 10 minutes into this race. TY's coming up to Curva Grande now. He's going to have a look at Jay. Keeps it nice and steady for now. Jay Houston's off! Jay Houston's off into the gravel. Rare mistake, and Neil only just avoids him. Wow! Jay Houston recovers, but that was a close call. That was almost race done for him and game over. But luckily managed to recover it. So Neil and T1 move ahead. Jay Houston back down to 4th. Let's check it up on everyone else. There's Jamo in 5th, Man of Steel 6th. They're all a bit more spread out now. Jason K 7th, Mr. Slow 1 in 8th, and Danny Quaver rounding out the 9 of us that there are. So there's Bidzster, Neil, Jay Houston. T-Y's had an off somewhere. Jay Houston got past. T-Y's had something happen somewhere. Don't know what, but he got passed by Jay Houston. Jay Houston's on the roll over the back of Neil now. Into the Ascari chicane. The bigger chicane. You've got to be really wrestle the car around here. Fighting the balance. As he go down the back straight now towards Parabolica. See the front end dive down as he hit the brakes through the Parabolica. And the car twitches out as they squirm for grip and squirm for power. Bidzster still in the lead by about a couple of seconds gap now. There he is. Then Neil, Jay Houston and T.Y. Coming towards Curva Grande. Jay Houston gets a good run around there now. I think Neil was a bit too tentative around there. But he's held on for now. Neil gets a bit of grass under braking and he's going to run wide. He has. Will Jay Houston get the cut back? T.Y. squirms in the background. Can Neil cover it off? Yes, he can. Neil covers it off into the first Lesmo. Still a tight bunch of 3. Jay Houston's made a mistake though. T.Y.'s gone through. I thought I saw a twitch there. Jay Houston made a little mistake and T.Y. goes through. So as they come down the little back straight under where the old oval used to run, the old banking into the Ascari chicane. Back in the day, it used to be a long sweeping right-hander, but they put the chicane in for safety's sake quite a few years ago now. In fact, a lot of years ago now. Lovely sound of the Ferrari F40 around here. And of course, this race we are running on the Sport soft tyres as well. The tyres replicated by what the cars would have. So tyre wear won't be an issue in this race. T.Y. is in the draft of Neil. We come towards the first corner. Neil gets a big twitch on there. Will T.Y. be able to capitalise as they come out the corner? Onto the brakes for the little chicane. No, everyone holds station. Jay Houston closes right up to the back of T.Y. though, so T.Y. must have gone a bit too slow into there. There's Bidzster through the shot. And there's your top 4. Meanwhile, further back, it's still the same order. Jamo, Man of Steel, Jason K. Danny Quaver's got ahead of Mr. Slow One. So Mr. Slow One got off somewhere. Or he's pitted. Overall. And down towards the Ascari chicane again. T.Y. very sideways out of there. Not doing himself any favours. Everyone pushing as hard as they can. To the brakes. T.Y. is a very big squirm there, but so does Jay Houston. T.Y.'s all over, kicking up the dust as well. Not exactly going to help his cause. The lap times have dropped off a little bit here. a little bit of consistency getting wiped out. There's Bidzster up front. There's Neil. Runs a bit wide, but I think gets away with it. Too wide, closes up a bit, but not enough. To the chicane, everyone over there nicely. Apart from the fact that Neil kicks up a bit of dust and says to 2Y, there you go, there's a bit of 007 smoke screen for you, but 2Y's not phased. Come out the Lesmo. Into the second Lesmo. Neil runs wide, Neil's made a mistake, he's off! Neil's made a mistake! Will Jay Hughes able to capitalise as well? I think so with the overspeed, but they're still side by side. No, Jay Houston's got the overspeed, so Neil, mate, just shows you one little error and 2 places gone. Into a Scary. Neil's going to be on the fight back now. Using all the road and a bit more to try and catch up to the others. Into the parabolic. Very big slide there from Neil. He's really trying. He's rattled from that mistake. Well, a bit further back there's Jamo. Man of Steel. Jason K, Danny Quaver and Mr. Slow One rounds out the 9. There's Bidzster in the lead. Throws it into Curva Grande. There's T-White. Again throw. Oh, T-White throws it in a bit too much. Goes off. And down to 4th again. Doesn't look like anyone can keep consistent in this race. Loses the back end again. It's just because the tyres were a bit overheated from that previous mistake. There goes Neil. Jay Houston. What a bit of a twitch there from Jay Houston. They're all really trying. Meanwhile, Bidzster's just out front, keeping it nice and chilled. I think I can see a little battle further back. Let's have a look. Danny Quaver and Mr. Slow One. Let's watch these two for a second as they come across the line. Danny Quaver trying to fend off Mr. Slow One into the Curva Grande. Both around there well. All remains the same so far. Let's rejoin the battle for 2nd and 3rd. Jay Houston and Neil Farmack. T-Y's lost touch a bit, so he's obviously made a little error somewhere. Mr. Slow One still. Oh, Danny Quaver's gone off. Mr. Slow One goes through to 8th place. So there's a little swap at the back. Neil's closing up on Jay Houston here. He's going to have a look. He's going to dive. No, he's not. He's going to tuck back in. I thought he was going to have a dive there, but he thought twice about it. Into the Lesmos. To the second one. And out of it. Heading down toward the Scary, they're closing up. Goes right behind him now. Will they make a move? No, still going to resume the status quo. Jay Houston gets a... Ooh, that's a very big cut. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a penalty for that. Looks like he's going to get away with it. cheeky move there, but well, if the game doesn't give you a penalty, it doesn't give you a penalty. Into the parabolica. Carry all the speed you can, get as early on the throttle as you can without spinning up the rears too much. And out of it, onto the straight. This is where Neil will have the draft. Let's go on board with Neil. Maybe not. We'll leave that. Cameras aren't as good as Project Cars is. It's a bit wide, James, and keeps it very, very tight through there. He looks quite confident around that corner now as they go onto the brakes into the chicane. Neil squirms and closes up, but nothing there yet. Got to keep biding your time, Neil. Keep the patience. See why he's not really closing up any much at the minute. Into the second Lesmo and out of it. No mistakes by both. There's Bidzster. Keeping it consistent, keeping it cool out front. On the brakes into the Scarlet. Throws her in. Around. There's Jay Houston, Neil, T.Y. Further back we've got Jamo, Man of Steel, Jason K, Mr. Slow One, and Danny Quaver bringing up the rear. Looks like it's going to be Neil's moving out to have a look. Neil goes at the inside into Parabolica, he goes at the inside but can't keep the speed up and gets a massive twitch. Jay Houston keeps the momentum around the outside. Good effort there by Neil, but just couldn't quite pull it off. It was going to be too tight of an axis to get round. But he's back in the draft now as they come back down towards Curva Grande. Remember, there's no chicane because it's the layout with no chicane. So they're approaching Curva Grande at 180 miles an hour, braking, washing about 40 or 50 mile an hour off as they turn in. Back now and throw the car in. And up towards the chicane. Will Neil have a look? Jay Houston defends. He goes and moves to the left just to defend slightly to make sure Neil's not going to try anything. And holds on to the position. Neil, as a consequence of that little defence by Jay, runs out a bit wide. TY's off in the background. TY's off. Major off. Can't seem to get it back on track. Here he goes of a fashion, gets it back on track. Jamo there moves up to 4th now, TY 5th, so I don't know what happened there. And Man of Steel still in 6th, but Jamo moves up to 4th, that's the news of the moment. Jay Houston and Neil still battling it out, there's Bidzster going through. Yep, Jay Houston and Neil still battling it out for the podium spots, 2nd and 3rd. Coming down towards the Parabolica now onto the straight. Neil will be in the draft again. Will he have another look like he did on the other lap? Or will he keep the status quo for now? He's going to keep the status quo. He's going to try and work his way up to Jay Houston again. But he's run wide. Jay Houston's run wide. Neil's going to go up the inside. A little bit of ghosting, but I think everything was alright there. And Neil Farmack goes through. Jay Houston back down to 3rd, but don't discount Jay Houston out. He's got the draft, so we need to stay there and catch up as we get to almost to the 24-minute mark just now as we move out and have a look. He'll be a brave man if he passes into Curva Grande. No, he decides to just keep right on him, trying to fight the car in the turbulent air of Neil Farmack in front of him. Meanwhile, Bidzster's closing up to some back markers, so we'll just Danny Quaver's pulled over, so I don't know if he's had an issue or something, but he's pulled over. Probably knows he's not going to get anywhere. He's let the leaders through, and yeah, he's rejoining there. So good sportsmanship there by Danny Quaver. Yeah, but almost a bit too nice, but we do appreciate that. Neil trying to keep tabs on where Jay Houston's going to be. because he's all over him like a rash. If you come out the Lesmos down towards the Scary. There's Bidzster moving through the Scary. Everything under control. There's Neil trying to keep Jay under control. Jamo's still 4th. Man of Steel moves to 5th now, so TY must have made another error. So TY is down to 6th. Doesn't look like he's struggling at the minute. TY is really struggling with that car at the minute, so something's happened. But meanwhile at the front, Jay Houston runs a bit wide onto the marbles, but Neil keeps ahead in 2nd place. Slow car at the first corner, I don't know who that is, but let's have a look. Is it Danny Quaver? No, it's Mr. Slow One, he's had a little off. So, there he is. Oh, Bidzster coming up behind him at some point, I think. Yeah, he's getting the blue flags now. There's Bidzster. In control. And into the first Lesmo. They'll not want to get held up too much by traffic. Here's these two still dicing for it. Jay Houston runs wide though. Making a few little errors now as Jay. I think everyone's starting to get a bit more restless. We've been racing for 26 to almost 27 minutes. Coming through up towards the Scary. There's Bidzster in the Scary. He's coming up to the back of Mr. Slow One in a minute to lap him. Not far off. See another car that's had an off in the background. TY's off again at Curva Grande. He's having some real problems, is TY. So Jason K there moves through to 6th place. Don't know what's happened to TY at all in this race. He was 4th for a while and battling in the battle for 2nd, and now he's, as you can see there, he's all over the place. Something's gone really wrong there. So here's Neil and Jay Houston. Bidzster's still not got past Mr. Slow One yet, but he's not close enough to get the blue flag, so not be concerned about that. Into Curva Grande, throws the car in. Good consistent pace. And it hits the brakes. Towards the chicane. Now he's close enough to little error there from Bidzster over the chicane. Runs a bit wide. That's not like Bidzster at all. Not like Bidzster at all. That's Neil Farmack and Jay Houston close up a little bit, but not too much. So there he goes. There's Mr. Slow One. There's Bidzster. Giving him a flash in the area. Gives him a little flash, let him know he's there. Mr. Slow One moves out the way. Well done, Mr. Slow One. Good observation there. Onto the brakes, into the Ascari chicane, and in. Meanwhile, here's these two still battling at it. Neil runs a little bit wide. Jay has a little look, but doesn't manage to get it up the inside enough to make it stick. As they go out of there and down the back straight towards the Parabolica. There's a car in the pits. Who's that? TY's coming in the pits for a change of tyres. I think it was his tyres that he messed up. And he did a good job of messing his tyres up with the sport soft, because sport softs usually last forever, which is what everyone's on. As they come out, Jay Houston gets a good run on Neil Farmack here. He's got a good run. Might be in it to make a move here. He's drafting. Neil runs to the left, runs to the right. Now runs back to the left. Jay Houston backs out of it though. Into the Curva Grande. the brakes, into the chicane. Out of it, closing up on it on Mr. Slow One now. We'll lead to lap. So will this little bit of traffic make things a bit more interesting, or will they both get through cleanly? They'll be hitting the blue flag shortly. There they are. He's moving to the left. He's going to let both through before the chicane. I think he does. Yes, he does. Good lad. Well done to Mr. Slow One there. Good sportsmanship. There's Bidzster out of the SHARE. There's Neil and Jay. Jamo's lost it in fourth. He's spun round. Out of the second Lesmo. He's got to get it turned back round. Here comes Man of Steel. Just gets it turned around in time. Man of Steel goes up to fourth. Will Jamo lose any other places? No, he won't. He'll stay in fifth. Gets back up to speed. So lucky there for Jamo, loses a place. There's Jason Kane, 6th. TY, 7th, and still struggling with the car by the looks of it. Mr. Slow One in 8th, Danny Quaver in 9th. So let's rejoin this battle for 2nd place. Neil and Jay still battling at it. It's been a good long race this, all the way through. Between these two, Jay runs out wide. How close can you get to the white line without going over it? Good little bits of car control there by Jay Houston to stop it. Oh, and speaking of car control, there's a bit more there. That's how you shortcut the chicane, Jay. So well done. Keeps it together though. Maintains roughly the same gap. So no advantage gained. There's Bidzster coming out of the second Lesmo. Coming up to lap someone else now. Can't quite see who it is. Looks like it might be TY, which would be a rare occurrence. Bidzster will lap TY. In the Project Cars 2 Championship, they were battling all the way through each race in the season, and now Bidzster will get to lap TY. So TY slows up. Bidzster goes through. Easy as that. Into the Parabolica. Meanwhile, there's Neil and Jay a bit further back. They're still more spread out now. It's just unfolded into one of these races. Well, oh, Jay's gone wide in the background onto the marbles, but he recovers it. So Bidzster comes through to start lap 20. Sorry, lap 19. Sorry, beg your pardon. Lap 19. TY want to stay with him now to try and get some pace back. Someone to follow. Oh, no, TY's not got the pace now. Neil's closing up now. Will TY let them through before the chicane? Yes, he does. He's going to let both through before the chicane. Good sportsmanship there by TY. Lets them get on with the race up front after his disastrous race. To the Lesmos. A little bit of opposite lot there by Neil, but nothing to be too concerned about. Here comes Bidzster up to a SHARE under the Brembo Bridge. Into the brakes. Bidzster's off! Bidzster is off, he's lost it, completely mucked up his braking point and he's off. He's going to lose the lead, surely. Here comes Neil, Neil goes through. Will Jay Houston get through? No. So it's a battle for the lead now, not just a battle for second. Jay Houston's going to go through because he has actually got the momentum to go through. So Bidzster's gone down from first to third with one major mistake. So, wow, just shows you how much it all can change. As the exit Parabolica, Bidzster will be on a fight back now, a bit furious with himself. He's on the fight back now. Battle behind Jay Hewson, almost pushing him. Jay Hewson in the draft of Neil as well, so this will both help them close up. To the Curva Grande, they all know it's a battle for the lead now, so they're all really going for it. Bidzster moves towards the outside, trying to get the inside for the next corner. He's on the inside of Jay Hewson, onto the brakes, into the chicane. Bidzster has to back out of it, and Jay Hewson hits Neil. Jay Hewson hits Neil. Bidzster's going to try and take advantage, but no advantage was gained there. Didn't have enough run, I don't think. He's up the inside, he's going to try it. No, he has to back out of it in the end. Getting closer now, it's getting a bit more ragged. Onto the curb. Down towards the Ascari chicane. Under the old banking. Is anyone going to have a look for a move here? I don't think so. No one's close enough. They're going to try and keep the status quo and get a good run into parabolic if that happens. There's something off. Danny Quaver's off. There, he's made a little mistake again, Danny. So Bidzster runs really wide now. He's really trying. He's using all the road in a bit more. Any advantage you can exploit, he's going to use it. As they hit the brakes. Bidzster's on the brakes way too late and hits Jay Hewson, almost takes him off into the gravel, and he's gonna wait for Jay. He's not gonna pass him in out of sportsmanship, but unlucky there for Bidzster and Jay. Bidzster just got himself in a tiz with his braking, and that's what happens. So Neil's got a good lead now. There's Jay Hewson in second. He'll be annoyed about that, what Bidzster did, but Bidzster, he didn't have any choice because he were on the brakes too late and he couldn't avoid anyone. It was just a racing incident, and after the race, Bidzster did apologise to Jay Hewson, I can tell you that. So as they come through Curva Grande, Man of Steel in fourth, Jamo fifth. That's closed up a bit. That might be a good little battle to watch towards the end. Man of Steel's run a bit wide though, but he'll get a decent run to the straight even though he's ran wide, so we'll resume that battle in a bit as we get back to the battle for second. Neil in first place, Jay Hewson second. Bidzster down a third. It just shows you what one mistake can do to your race. It can ruin it. And they come out of the second Lesmo, down towards the Ascari chicane. Bidzster's losing touch with Jay Hewson now. Jay Hewson's really getting his foot down. And the chicane, Bidzster gets it right this time. And out of it, we're down towards the Parabolica. Here's Neil in the lead. Through Parabolica. Let's keep an eye on the time to see if this will be the last lap or not. Nothing's indicated yet, so there'll probably be another lap. Here's Jay Hewson and Bidzster. Yep, so there's Jay Hewson and Bidzster. Still battling it out. Neil through the first corner. Making sure he doesn't lose anything. Bidzster and Jay Hewson still on it. Meanwhile, a bit further back, Man of Steel and Jamo still having a decent battle back here. We'll keep an eye on that in a minute. Jay Hewson's defending from Bidzster now. Bidzster wants to try and get second. To try and salvage something from this race. After the mistake he made, after leading for about 3/4 of the race or more. Looking around. No moves coming made yet though. Come down towards Ascari. Neil's already heading towards Ascari. Might be able to see him go through, we don't know. But here's Jay Hewson coming up to Ascari, onto the brakes with Bidzster behind him. be any last minute lunges. Oh, Bidzster very sideways, shows how hard he's pushing. There's Neil Farmack into the parabolica for the last time. Yeah, final lap. This is our final lap. Time just ticked over. Neil Farmack wins for round race 4 at Monza in the Ferrari F40. Good win for Neil. Second place to Jay Hewson. Third place to Bidzster. Unlucky for Bidzster there. He could have had a win on the cards, but just made a mistake. There's Jamo and Man of Steel still battling it out for 4th on this last lap. Jamo doing the chicane, Man of Steel as well. Will Jamo be able to hold on? He should do with the little bit of a gap he's got if he doesn't make a mistake. Mr. Slow One's already crossed the line in 7th because he was lapped. So is TY as well, will get us 8th. Jamo's still in 4th, he's going to be 4th. Yeah, Jamo's going to be 4th in this one. And then it's going to be Man of Steel in 5th. Jason K with a very sideways. Jason K will finish 6th. And Danny Quaver in 9th. So there's your winner, Neil Farmack. Good win for Neil. So we'll see you next time out. Hope you've all enjoyed. See you later.